About 3 things I should point out before I start this video. 1, the lighting is really bad and I apologise for that. 2, the background is incredibly unattractive and unappealing and I will try and sort that out. And 3, I need to introduce myself because this is my first video. So I'm Anna, I'm 17 and I'm currently living in London. And if you don't know, I love books, I adore books, and I love talking about books, and that is the reason I set up this channel. I love other, booktube channels, and it's something that's really been growing in the past few months, and I really wanted to be a part of that rather than just being passive, so I want to join in if you'll have me, I guess. And I don't want to ramble on too long, so I might as well do an October wrap-up because October has gone. And I read quite a few books, so yeah. The first book I read was the Scorch Trials by James Dashner. If you don't know, it's a sequel to The Maze Runner, also by James Dashner, obviously. And what prompted me to read this is the film, which absolutely blew me away. It was so loyal to the book and it was so intense. I knew what was going to happen. I still found myself like at the edge of my seat. I was hesitant to read it because I thought it might just be quite repetitive of the first one, just in a different setting, but it really wasn't. It was, just as good as the first one. It was just as fast-paced, had as many clever plot twists and shocking, truths being revealed, and it went deeper into the background of the characters, which I really enjoyed. And it was just amazing. If you haven't got on board with this series yet, I really urge you to. The next book I read was Sleeping Murder by Agatha Christie. I adore Agatha Christie. I am such an Agatha Christie nerd, I should point that out now. This book is about a woman who moves into a house and she begins redecorating when she discovers that she's lived there before, and she has a flashback memory of seeing a dead body in the corridor. And she knows the name of this woman, and this woman is called Helen, but she doesn't know how she knows her or who killed her. So she goes on a mission and quest to find out, and with the help of Miss Marple, who is a badass, they uncover the truth, and it's mind-blowing. The next book I read was Howl's Moving Castle by Dianna Wynne-Jones, and I read this because I adore the film by Studio Ghibli. I don't know really what the agreed pronunciation is, don't shoot me if I got it wrong. I adore the film because every frame looks, like a painting. It's absolutely beautiful and breathtaking, and anyone who hasn't seen it, watch it, please. It's about a girl called Sophie that gets cursed by the Witch of the Waste, and her curse is that she is turned into an old woman, and she goes to Howl, who's got this terrible, terrifying reputation, in the hope that he'll help, but she can't tell anyone about this curse. So she puts her trust in him to try and figure it out, and he lives in this moving castle which is powered by a fire demon that she befriends, and basically the whole story is about trust, friendship, magic, and it's just beautifully written and wonderfully told and a really enjoyable read. This book I read was Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist by David Levithan and Rachel Conn. It's obviously told in dual perspective from Nick and Nora, obviously. And I just found it really sweet. It's basically they meet in a bar and Nick asks Nora to be his girlfriend for 5 minutes to make his ex jealous, and it turns out that Nora knows his ex, and it's basically all about how they know each other, and then throughout one night Nick and Nora get to know each other. What I loved about it and what I found really relatable was that if Nora said something and then her narrative would be like, oh, I'm so stupid, why did I say that, I'm so stupid, he's gonna hate me, and then afterwards in Nick's narrative it would be like, oh, I think she's so cool, especially when she said this. And for someone, like me, who often embarrasses themselves and says or does the wrong thing, I found it really reassuring that not everyone will think you're weird or strange. There might be one person that thinks you're really cool, so that made me happy. The next book I read was Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters by Riordan, and I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with the Percy Jackson series. It's a Greek mythology series about Percy Jackson and his friends who are demigods or mythical creatures, and it's about their adventures, and it's really good, really funny, really interesting, and if you're interested in Greek mythology, that's definitely something you should read. The last book I read was An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. I love John Green. I love all of John Green's other books. I mean, I'm so excited that Paper Towns is filming, and I'm really, really excited to see it. And Tifios, and just, it's all perfect. I love John Green. So I had high expectations, and I was kind of worried that they wouldn't be met for some reason, but they were. It was just as funny and as intelligent as the others. It's about a guy called Colin who, like most of us at some point, has a realization that he doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life. He's not really sure where he's going or what purpose he serves. And so in an attempt to figure this out, he goes on a road trip with his best friend, and it's basically really funny, and it's about how gradually, by meeting different people on this road trip, his opinions and what he thought was right and wrong just changes really, and it's really interesting, and there's a character growth there, which I'm sure a lot of people would benefit from by reading it. It's really, really good. So that's everything I read in October. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry if it was a bit awkward because this is my first video and I'm not the best at speaking. Leave me comments about first of all, if you read any of these books, what you thought, and also what you're currently reading. I'd love to know. So I'll see you in another video soon-ish. Yeah, write that down, soonish. I'm accurate like that. That's how I roll.